Hello YouTubers, welcome back to ThoseYGOguys. I'm your host Alessandro. So, in this video I'm going to be talking about the results that happened at YCS Philadelphia, or aka YCS Philly, for some of you like to call it by the nickname. So the tournament has come to a close. I know it's been a while since I've done a video talking about YCS and results and stuff like that. I know it's been a while. I think ever since the top 16 becomes a draft seal, from there on just kind of kills the point of having a YCS, and well, not really having a YCS, more of like, topping or trying best to make into winning and all that. So it was kind of a bummer, but but I really am intrigued by the impact that the set Prime Origins, alongside with the Dragon of Legends set put together, have made such a very unique impact into this meta. So I figured, you know what, I was talking to my friends from yesterday to today about what was going on in the YCS, and you know what, let's get started talking what made it into the tops and what to expect from here on out. I'm going to be talking a list from the top 32 decks that have made it all the way to the top 32 pretty much. So let's get started. So we have one Inzektor, a wide variation of Trap Tricks decks, which that made one large portion of the top tables. We have like 4 Trap Tricks Hands artifact decks. Then we have 2 Trap Tricks artifacts, and we have 3 Trap Trick Hands deck. Then we have 2 Mythic Rulers. Then we have another large portion of the seats being taken up by Yugioh. Then we have, and that's about 10 Yugioh players made it to the top 32. Then we have 2 Madolche, then 2 Infernities, 2 Bujins, 2 Evil Swarms, 1 Mermail, and 1 Unknown, which I don't think anyone has gotten who or what the player was playing on the, according to the Konami's blog page, because it was like left out blank, so I couldn't even make out what he was playing. So yes, a lot of things have happened, and let's get down to the discussion. The surprise factor. Madolche did not do as well as I thought it was, especially Bujins. Usually there was a massive hype going on that Madolche is going to be the best deck, stuff like that. Especially Bujins, since Bujin's been getting a lot of stuff, and both of those decks, none of their stuff have gotten hit on the ban list. So that puts those 2 decks like a really strong contender making it to the metagame, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. I don't know, was it the fact that players are more prepared for those 2 decks more often, sorry about that, or maybe something else, or maybe a low representation, I don't know. But I don't think it's the low representation, since according to majority of the feature matches that I've read throughout the YCS Philly, there were a good bit of Madolche players playing. So it could be that May players are more prepared for those 2 decks, which most likely that's the case, because those 2 are probably by far the most hyped decks. The other surprise factor was Trap Tricks. That caught a lot of people off under the radar, especially me. I did not expect to see Trap Tricks doing well. I know their new support, I forgot the new monster's name, is good. I didn't expect it would be this good. I mean, that good. You know what I'm trying to say. So that's very unique as well. And I'll get back to Trap Tricks' of the reason why they're doing so well later on in this video. Let's see. 2 Evil Swarms. Good meta call. I think that's a pretty decent meta call since post-Primal, we know there's a bit of hype going on with artifacts, and Evil Swarm, they like to make Ophion, and Ophion just likes to poop on artifacts because Ophion says no to level 5 or higher special summon monsters. That's pretty much the case. Infernities, that one actually kind of caught me by surprise, but at the same time, it's good to see Infernities making it, because while yes, their place seems very, how should I say, sacky and very, very powerful, but at the same time, you don't always get the ideal hands in a multiple round tournament, and this is coming from having experience for playing the deck. I just picked up the deck since last October. That was like my birthday present, but there were times where I get like monster hands and I'm like, ugh. So I think 2 Inferni making it into the top 32 seems reasonable. Yugiohs. Yugiohs, a large portion of them making it into top 32, and to be honest, I'm not surprised because the deck is pretty good. I've actually been playing around with it. Unfortunately, I've been playing around pure Yugiohs, and it was like a one night stand. I don't know. I don't think I clicked really well with the pure Yugiohs as well as I did with the Yugioh Karakuri deck. Well, of course, I started off with Yugioh Karakuri, but I guess majority of the people who play Yugiohs, or at least the pure Yugiohs, probably have started off with the Yugioh Karakuri, then switch over to pure. That's probably the case, but I feel like, I might be doing something wrong, but I'll keep on playing Yugioh Karakuri until Yugiohs get hit. But overall, the deck is very good. It can play passively in a defensive way, and then when the moment of truth is right, then it can switch over to play more aggressively. And the deck is very consistent, and they can play and sit. They can play like two switches, like one for aggressively and the other for passively. So really, it doesn't throw the deck off tempo at all. So that's what makes the decks very good. And I think, in honesty, seeing Yugiohs taking a large number of spots throughout many events, it could be easily say that Yugiohs might be a really strong contender to be one of the best decks of this format, really. But it's too soon to say. But it is a solid tier 1 deck for sure. Then Inzektor, one surprise factor. Inzektor making it to top because Inzektors is a very aggressive deck. If you play too passively, Inzektors like to punish you severely. Because if you set too much and you don't react on how to fight back Inzektors, Hornet and Dragonfly, the 2 brothers of destruction, can really rain on your parade. Then the one Mermail, which sadly that actually surprised me. It wasn't a lot of seats taken up by Mermails, which is pretty unique, and I think it has something to do with one particular card that I've been seeing quite a lot throughout the YCS, which is known as Triptrix Triple Nightmare. And I'll get to it as soon as I'm done talking about the other decks. And then finally, Mythic Rulers. Seeing Mythic Rulers, actually Dragon Rulers have been doing pretty solid throughout the format as well, which is kind of sad to say. In some way, I'm happy because it keeps decks relevant in a way, but at the same time, it hurts other decks as well because the deck happens to have Dragon Rulers running in it. And what really irritates me is it's starting to become more like the Stratos problem in hero decks. Like, they had to limit all the other stuff just to keep this one certain card legal without making it too broken. But of course, players will always find a way around it to abuse the card. And this is kind of starting to get to the point where, for Dragon Ruler's sake, we've seen Dragon Ravine game ban, Gold Star going to 1, Sacred Sword 7-star going to 1. Maybe indirectly Heretical Convocation going to 2. I don't know about that story. But now seeing how strong the decks are becoming is... Personally, in my opinion, I kind of want the Dragon Rulers to go away. Because now there's this hype going on about Light Sworn Rulers. And it's starting to really sicken me about... Because it's like they're gonna flock to one deck, ruin it, go to another deck, and the cycle repeats. And it's just... So, I don't know. In my opinion, I kind of want Dragon Rulers to go away. But at the same time, if it wasn't for Dragon Rulers being around, I mean, when Dragoonies have no Dragon Ravine, yeah, that would have been pretty bad for Dragoonie players. Especially for me. I tried my best trying to make that deck work, but... You know, what you gotta do, what you gotta do, or at least you gotta try what you got. Okay, now let's get down to the big impact card of this YCS, Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare. For those of you who don't know, is a trap card, well, normal trap card with the effect stated as: when a monster your opponent controls that was special summoned this turn activates its effect, negate that effect, and if you do, destroy that card. So, in a way, it's kind of like... It's acting more like a Blackhorn Heaven in a way, but probably better. Now, why is that? Take, for example, you can combine it with the Trap Tricks engine. So, if you combine it with Trap Tricks engine and this trap card, you got this recycling effect and a searching capability that ensures you you have an answer to your opponent's plays. And one thing you can't do with Black Hornet Heaven, you don't have that searching capability. So it's like, do you have it or do you don't? Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Whereas this Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare, thanks to the Trap Tricks archetype, you're most likely going to have an answer to your opponent's plays. Some of the top contained decks, let's see. Madolche's, like you can stop Madolche's Tiramisu from going OTK, or MX Saber Invoker, or even the Madolche Hoot Cake who's about to use his effect that was special summoned through Angelica's effect. Or Mermels, basically. They like to search, most likely. When they special summon that Mermail and activate their effect, you flip up and you pretty much stop them dead in their tracks. Let's see, what else? Trying to remember off the top of my head. Artifacts. I don't know that one particular artifact monster's name. The blue artifact guy that carrying around the big sword, you can stop him because his effects automatically activate when he's special summoned, trying to destroy your monster. You just flip out Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare, and you pretty much stop that monster dead in his track. Same goes for the Constellar Pleiades when they go into that. You can also stop popular staple cards such as number 101 Sun on Arc and Evils from Excitonite, and then the list continues on. So that's what makes Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare very unique. And what's so unique about the Trap Tricks engine is kind of acting like more of a TG engine in a way. It's something we haven't seen in a while. So it's very unique. Because of the result of the huge popularity of Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare, the card price have skyrocketed on TCG players so far. Let's see. Let's see. Nothing. It got from a wide variety, $15 to $16 per copy. So there's like a huge increase in price. And usually people say this is probably YCS hype and all that. But you know, that's what happened when a car is doing so well in a tournament. Usually that happens because secondary market, player hype have an effect on secondary market, supply and demand. Sometimes hype as well just affects car prices, and that's how things work. So overall, I think this has been a pretty unique YCS overall. Very diverse meta. I don't know what to say throughout the remainders of this format. We'll just have to wait and see. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you find it very helpful, very insightful. Insightful as well. So leave a comment down below what you guys think. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Tell me your thoughts. So without further ado, this is Alessandro from ThoseYGOguys, and I'll see you guys later. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.